Thank you very much. So let's move on to Flip, the next paper. The title of the paper is Fine-Grained Alignment Between ID-Based Model and Pretrained Language Models for CTR Prediction by Bo.
Hello, everyone. This is Chen from Huawei Northside Research Lab. It's my pleasure to present our work, Flip, the fine-grained alignment between the item-based model and the pre-trained language model for the CTR prediction. As we can see, the CTR prediction is the core component of the various personalized online service, such as the web server or the recommender systems. It aims to estimate a user's click probability over the target items given a particular context. Recently, the pre-trained language model, especially the large language models, are very popular. They contain extensive knowledge about the physical world, hence introducing a novel paradigm for predicting the CTR directly through the natural language. On the one hand, the traditional item-based models for the CTR prediction adopt the Wang-Hao encoding to convert the input data into the ID features, which can be named as the tabular data modality. This model aims to capture the complex high-order feature interaction pattern by different operators, such as the inner product, outer product, or the attention mechanism. On the other hand, recent researches use the pre-trained language model as a text encoder or recommender directory. The input data is first transformed into the textual sentence via the prompt template, which can be referred as the textual data modality. Then the pre-trained language model encode and understand this sentence and turn the CTR prediction task into either a binary text classification problem or a sequence-to-sequence prediction task. However, both of the above methods have limitations. First, the ID-based First, the ID-based models can capture the field-wide interaction signals and distinguish each different feature with the ID encoding. However, the Wang-Hao encoding discards the text information, so fail to capture the semantic correlation between the features. In addition, the ID-based models rely heavily on the user interactions, may struggle in the scenario with sparse interactions. On the other hand, the pre-trained language model can better understand the textual context and are robust in the sparse interaction scenarios. Instead, they cannot capture the field-wise interaction signals because the input data is broken down into several subwords tokens. Besides, the pre-trained language model struggles to distinguish the features that have little difference in the language. So to take full advantage of the both models, it is natural to bridge them for overcoming their limitations. Therefore, we propose Flip to conduct fine-grained feature-level alignment between the ID-based models and the pre-trained language models. Flip is a model-agnostic framework that adopts the pre-train and fine-tune schema. For the pre-training stage, we decide to jointly mask the tabular and the language modeling, where the mask feature, including the IDs or the tokens from one modality, are recovered with the help of another one. The motivation is that both tabular and the textual data have almost the same information of the raw data, but only in different format. So in order to have the mask feature recover, each single model is forced to use the valuable knowledge embedded in the other models. In this way, we can achieve fine-grained feature-level interactions And for the fine-tuning stage, we propose a simple but efficient approach to combine the prediction from both models for the downstream CTR prediction. And here is the architecture of the proposed framework, which consists of three the first one is the modality transformation and alignment pre-training stage, and the final one is the fine-tuning stage. Firstly, Flip transformed the raw data from the tabular modality into the textual modality. Then, in the modality alignment pre-training stage, we use the mask modeling to run the fine-grained modality alignment. And lastly, we use a fine-tuning strategy to enhance the performance on the CTR prediction. We do not show the detailed structure of the pre-trained language model and the ID-based models because Flip is model agnostic and can be compatible with different backbone models. Let's see the first step. Since pre-trained language models take text as input, so we first convert the original tabular data into the textual data via the prompt template. And the transformation is very simple. The template is following field name is feature value. In this way, we preserve the semantic knowledge of the field name and the feature value within minimize the pre-processing without information lost. Then in the pre-training stage, we apply 3 pre-training objectives to achieve both feature level and instance level alignments between the ID-based models and the pre-trained language models. And the first one is mask language modeling, which recovers the mask token with the help of the complete tabular data. And the second one is mask tabular modality modeling, which recovers the mask feature IDs with the help of the complete textual data. And the last one is the contrastive learning for the instance level alignments, which draws positive samples together and push away the negative samples. And the mask modeling can learn the fine-grained interactions by the weight of masks and then predict, while the contrastive learning aligns the modalities from the perspective of the global consistency. The first one is the mask language modeling, and this model takes the mask text and the complete tabular data as input and attempts to recover the mask tokens. For the mask strategy, we decide a new one named as the field-level masking strategy, which means we will mask all the textual tokens from one feature value, which is more difficult than the random token level masking. And the random level masking can be easily inferred based on the textual context. And we use the optimization loss is the cross entropy loss to compute on the mask tokens. As for the mask tabular modeling, it takes the mask tabular and the complete text data as input and aims to recover the mask feature ID. And we decide the cross-entropy unit to aggregate the tabular representations with the textual representations. However, we cannot use the cross-entropy here because this loss is need to compute the softmax function over the entire feature space, which is impractical and inefficient. So we adopt another loss named noise contrastive estimation loss, which transforms the multi-class classification task into a binary classification task. And this model is required to distinguish the positive feature from the noise features. In addition to the feature level alignment, we also introduced the contrastive loss to learn the instance level alignment. And the contrastive objective draws the representation of the matched text and tabular pairs together and then push away those non-matched pairs. And we use an inference loss here. And after the pre-training stage, the pre-trained language model and the ID-based models have learned the fine-tuning, fine-grained representations here. Then in the fine-tuning stage, we fine-tune these models on the downstream CTR prediction task. And the estimate click probability is the weighted sum of the outputs from two models. And we apply the binary cross-entropy loss here over the click probability and the estimate click probability from each model. And to investigate deeper into the influence of the alignment on the single model, we also define two variants, which is flip ID and the flip PLM, which are fine-tuned based on a single model only. And here we conduct experiment on 3 public datasets, which is movie length, book crossing, and Goodreads. Our method is compared with 3 category baselines, ID-based, PLM-based, and the methods combine both. As for the proposed flip framework, we adopt the TinyBurst as the pretrained language model and the DCMV2 as the ID-based model. And we compare our framework with all baselines, and the results are shown this. We can find that flip outperform all the baselines consistently. Besides, flip ID and flip PLM also better than the corresponding baselines. All the results proves that the fine-grained alignment between ID-based model and the pretrained language models can overcome the limitations and improve the performance. Next, we change different models, such as the TinyBurst, Roberta, DeepLearning, AutoIn, and different ID-based models, and the result proves that our proposed framework still achieves the best performance. And this result demonstrates its compatibility with different backbone models. And we conduct case study to further explore the fine-grained feature-level alignment for text and a tabular data pair. We first perform the field-wise masking, and then we use the pretrained language model and the ID-based models to encode them into different representations. Then we calculate the mutual similarity between each representation pair, and the result is shown in the heat map. And the top similar score is on the diagonal, which is for the pairs with the same feature field. This result indicates that flip can capture the change among the feature-level features and maintain a one-to-one feature-level relationship between the different modalities. Okay, finally, I will make a conclusion. We highlight the importance of the fine-grained feature-level alignment between the tabular IDs and the tokens to enhance the performance of the recommender systems. Then we propose a model-agnostic framework where the jointly masked tabular and the language modeling tasks are involved. And the proposed framework also deploys a fine-tuning approach to combine two models' predictions. Finally, we demonstrate the model's great performance compared with the existing baselines and validate its compatibility in terms of the both ID-based models and the pretrained language models. Okay, thank you for your listening.
Okay, thank you both for the presentation. We have one question from Felice, who is asking, getting the model to learn an ID representation might make it less generalizable. Have you considered the semantic IDs proposed by Google? And I think this is referring to the work Tiger, if I'm not wrong, generative retrieval. So your way of ID generation compared with Tiger, how do you compare them?
Okay, can I see the text?
Yeah, of course. Semantic IDs by Google.
Okay. We choose to involve ID-based models to use the signals from the ID-based model, which can be overtrained with lot of training data. So the ID-based models have the advantages that can take full advantages of the feature interactions. So we use another model as the signal, and then we can transform the semantic knowledge from the pre-trained language models into the ID-based models. By doing this, we can not only use the effectiveness of the pre-trained language models, but also we can use the inference efficiency of the ID-based models, because the inference latency of ID-based models is smaller than the pre-trained language model. So in this case, we can take full advantages of two kinds of models. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. There's another question. I would kindly ask to be quick. It's also an interesting question. It asks, how are text data and ID data sampled? For example, do they have to be from the same user to do the alignment?
Same users?
Yeah, the text and ID that you're getting to generate these IDs, do they need to be from the same user? Text and ID data. For the alignment, do they need to be from the same user?
Okay, our alignment between the ID-based model and the pre-trained language model are over a same instance. For example, for the CTR prediction task, instance contains the features and the labels. So for each feature and label pair, we will convert them into the textual one using the field name is feature name, this format to translate into a sentence. So this is the input data for our pre-trained language models. So by doing this, we can align the each tabular data with ID format with the language format.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Please give a clap for Bo.
Okay, thank you.
So we're going to the